Peter Vermes. Our first question will go to Daniel Sperry with the Kansas City Star.
I know we've talked a lot about the Messi throughout the week, but with you guys getting the chance to get into Arrowhead and train yesterday, just has that built kind of the anticipation for the matchup for your guys?
Well, obviously the Messi effect is in play right now because all you guys are here. I don't see you guys regularly, but it's good to see everybody. I mean, Arrowhead was good. It was great. It'll be a great venue for a game like this, and I think for guys on our team, I mean, there's guys that have never played in front of a crowd that size, so it'll be interesting for some of those guys. And the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we have a game to play, and that's what we got to do. I mean, environment's great. There's a lot of outside things that are important to it, from a soccer perspective and not just from a Sporting Kansas City point of view. But those are all great things. But at the end of the day, we got a game to play, and we got a game to try to win.
What do you tell your team to do to try and stop him, or do what they can to stop him?
I've been very clear on this. I've watched the guy play since he was very young. I don't know anybody. I don't know any team, any coach that's ever devised a game plan that has nullified his unbelievable and unique qualities. And so I think, you hope that on the day he has a bad day, you hope if he gets a chance, he misses. I mean, that's what you do. And you try to deny service to him as much as possible. You do everything you can in that regard. But if you think you're going to play man-to-man, or you're going to play a low block or a high block or whatever, it's all been tried. And it's been tried by some really, really good teams over the years, and he has destroyed those teams. So, like I said, we have to be good at what we do, and we just have to be very alert. And I'm not just talking about the first ball, but the second run, the third run. They have a lot of movement off the ball.
Two-part question on that, Peter. You mentioned his unbelievable qualities. As a person who's studied the game your whole life, what quality out of all those impresses you the most? And do you ever find yourself, do you think you'll find yourself as a pro do you get in awe of him? Do you think you'll sit there even during the game and go, wow, a few times?
I mean, everyone does. I mean, when Pep had him, he would do that. I mean, everyone does it. It's just because you don't see the things that he does, either never or not very often, that's for sure. It's really hard to pick one quality, because I think what he doesn't get enough credit about is his unbelievable attitude in games. And that is, like, there's games where he's gotten absolutely just abused physically. Like, the other team thinks, all right, we're going to go physical against him, or we're going to, and he gets knocked down. He just gets up and gets on with the next play. Doesn't even say anything at times. Like, he's been very good over his entire career in that regard. So his attitude within the field, the respect of the game, is tremendous. But when you talk about all the other things, he just can do everything at such a high level. Like, some guys have a couple qualities that are good. He has every one of them. I mean, there's not one thing that he doesn't do well. And then you just go with his vision, his intellect, and I said this before, his IQ. If everybody else is at, really good players, like really top level players, are at like 150, 160 soccer IQ, he's at 300. I mean, that's the difference. Just that good.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm waiting for it.
I know last night he played the full 90 against a pretty good Monterey squad. They got crushed as a team, but just what were your impressions of the team and of him?
I actually thought they started out really well. They were actually bossing the game in the beginning. They were good on the ball. Their possession was good. Their just movement and circulation of the ball was very, very good. And their awareness to try to win the ball back quickly was excellent. I still think they tried after they had the mistake with the first goal. I think they tried, they tried to put on a good face and keep a good attitude. But I just think it got difficult for them, because at that point, the other team got a little more confidence. They're at home. The crowd got into it. And all of a sudden, the momentum shifted. But there were still actions in the game where they were, I'm talking about in the final third, attacking final third, they were really dangerous. The ball's off just a little bit or whatever. And if it is, it's on, they're on. They're a team that I've said this many times that like you get some chances against them, but they're going to get some chances against you. And the thing about it is most of the time they actually finish them.
Hello, Coach. Two question. Do you have any special lineup for the coming game? Or the other one, you are the first player as a soccer player as coach, also the longest head coach for MLS, and then you want to back to the field. You be a soccer player before. Any special thought from you?
Well, I'll take the first one or the last one first and say, yeah, I mean, it's special in the fact that I said this before. In 2010, we played Manchester United, probably one of the most famous teams in the world, in the same stadium. And we got, whatever, 54,000, 55,000 people, whatever it was. And it was a monumental moment for soccer in Kansas City. It was a monumental moment for Sporting Kansas City at the time. But the difference is now, as you're talking about two MLS teams, it's not a team from a foreign country coming in. It's two MLS teams playing a game, and the stadium's going to be sold out. At 70,000. It says a lot about the growth of our game in this country. It says a lot about the growth of the game in Kansas City, which is tremendous. The only other you asked about, do I have a lineup, whatever. I've only petitioned FIFA if I can put 15 guys in the field. That's the only thing I've done.
Peter, some rule changes looks like announced for kind of loosening up or maybe making the spending a little bit more flexible for teams. Just what are your thoughts on where that looks headed with the DP and U22 slot situation?
I think it's great. I think it's tremendous. I think that the more flexibility that we get and the more autonomy we get to run our cap the way we want, as long as we stay within the price points, if you will, the financial aspect of it. But if you're a club that wants to, construct your roster one way, you shouldn't have to construct it the same way as everyone else. You should be able to be like, I think when you're looking at a cap in sports, I think what you should be applauding is creativity. Right. You can't be the league and be upset that, a team finds a loophole or a team finds a creative way to structure a deal. I think we have to get to that world where we applaud that. We don't look upon that as being a bad thing, because the whole idea is that it's kind of like the person that, in everyday life, one person spends all their money, and all of a sudden something happens and they're in a really tough spot, where the other person saves for a rainy day and something happens and they got an emergency fund, and everybody should be allowed to live and do it the way they want to. And obviously there's got to be some, guardrails there, and I'm all for that. But I think when flexibility comes, it really helps, because this market is not the same as a lot of other markets, and we need a different way to be able to build our roster.
And then just with health of the team, Johnny, we've seen him out in training this week. Is he available to be on the field and play some minutes?
I probably won't be able to decide that until probably after tomorrow, because like he just did some sprints at the end of training today. I wasn't out there for that. He's been doing the work. Maybe you guys know or not, he just had a baby girl yesterday. Just a lot of other things that are going on, but he looks in a good place. It's just that, how does he recover? How does he feel? That type of thing.
Messi factor aside, how motivating is it to try and play your best after the last two home result and dropping some of the points there?
I think, look, I thought we had a great response in the game against Toronto after the LA game. I think there's a positive in the game the other day. We scored 3 goals in the first half. We tied the game. Do we want to be in that position? No. Do we realize the things that we have to be better at in moments of the game? For sure. MLS season's long. We gotta execute. I'd love to see a response like I saw in Toronto. I would love to see that. But what I do know is that this group, they don't take the things that we discuss, usually on Tuesdays, especially after the last opponent we just played. They don't take those things lightly. They understand, and we've had some good training sessions this week working on some of those aspects. You know, there's a fine line between it because we also have done a lot of really good things up to this point, and I want to make sure that those things continue to keep progressing as well.
Hey, Peter, obviously this game's got a lot of attention, more media, moved to a bigger stadium, all that. How do you approach it? Is it like a big game or just a regular game? You know, because it is a regular league game, and how do you approach it with your team?
Well, it is I mean, it is a league game, yes. But I mean, I can't be naive and not understand, like, look, it's a privilege for a lot of the guys to be able to play against the best player in the world. I mean, that's a privilege, right? And so there's going to be something there. But when the whistle blows, you also have to realize, like, to your point, we have a game to play. And you know, is it a home game? Yeah, it's a home game. It's in our home, you know, community. It's there, but at the same time, it's a little different venue. So we're going to be. It's not like it's everybody feels comfortable because they've played there so many times. I mean, even when the guys came in, you know, we went in there yesterday and a bunch of guys were like, "Wow, this place is really big." Yeah, it is. Yeah, and wait till tomorrow, you know, wait till Saturday, because when it's full, it's pretty impressive. So I think it'll be an interesting game for our guys as well. But I think your approach has to be the same. Your approach has to be, hey, it's a game, and when the whistle blows, game on. Let's go play.
Just speaking to that all fact of just being an Arrowhead on a soccer pitch, just is it good to get those guys in there and get them comfortable? And do you think that, you know, even with the sold out crowd, that y'all will have some kind of home field advantage?
I would like to think so. I mean, I think, look, I'm sure, I know this. There's a lot of people coming in from outside of here, you know, outside of our community to come and watch the game as well, because they don't get opportunities. So it's like when Michael Jordan played, I knew people that flew over from Europe to come and watch him play in a game. So people are going to do that. And my feeling is that we have another opportunity in that regard. We have another opportunity as a league to if they haven't been soccer fans, maybe they become soccer fans. More importantly, maybe they become sporting fans. And those are opportunities for us to you know, to provide them with entertainment that they feel good about, and that hopefully they'll become MLS fans and sporting fans.
Peter, thank you very much for the time.
Thanks, everybody. I'll see you here next week too.
We'll be joined next by Sporting Kansas City defender Andreu Fontas and Sporting Kansas City forward Daniel Salloi. Andreu Fontas, former teammate of Lionel Messi, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets. Questions in both English and Spanish. First question will go to Daniel Sperry with the Kansas City Star.
Fonty, just over the years you spent with him in Barcelona, but also even as an opponent with Celta. Just What comes to mind for you when you think of lining up against Messi again?
It is better for sure to be his teammate than his rival, for sure. Obviously, I mean, what can I say? No, it's for me the best player in history. So it will be special to play against him again, and just we'll try to do our best to not let him have his game, because we know that we need very few chances to punish you. So it will be special, and we'll try to do a collective job to stop him, to not allow him to be happy in the field. No.
What do you recall, maybe as a teammate, just some of those aspects and those things that made him so special?
Excuse me?
What did you see as a teammate of his that just makes him so special?
Just his quality is obvious, but also his competitiveness, the way he approaches every single game in his entire career, I think. The way he wants to win and compete every single training, I would say, even when you are his teammate, as you can see in every training session, every exercise, he wants to win. I think that's the reason why he had this unbelievably successful career, and obviously then the rest, his quality that everybody can see game in and game out.
I know both you and Rado have played against him in La Liga. So what are, I believe at some point Celta beat Barcelona there in the league. So how did you guys, how do you try and stop and close him down and not let him have those moments?
It's as I said before, I think it's definitely a collective effort. I don't think anybody man to man can stop him. So it requires like a very good collective job, super concentration during the entire game, because again, he needs nothing to score, to create a very good chance for his team. So be paying so much attention to him 90 plus minutes, and also having a great defensive game. That's the reality. Have to be at our best to be able to have something positive after the game, for sure.
It's a home game for you all, but a different venue. What do you take from the training that y'all had there the other day, and what are some of the challenges playing at this venue?
Well, the challenge is that even if it's here, it's home, will be the local team. It's not our house. It's not Children's Mercy Park that we know very well, and we are super used to play there. But again, I think it's a huge opportunity for us, playing in front of so many people. I think it's great. It's what every single player, I think, dreams of, playing in front of that many crowd, the big crowd, and it will be for sure very, very special. Challenges for sure. Again, like different grass, different size of field too, but we will adapt, and we have to, I think, enjoy the opportunity.
Buen día, Fonti.
And yeah.
¿Cómo se preparan mentalmente para un partido? Obviamente es un partido de liga, pero tiene mucha atención, y también cómo se preparan jugando en un nuevo estadio. Sé que contestaste apenas en inglés.
Sí, bueno, evidentemente que es un partido especial, lo podemos ver aquí en la sala, pero al final lo tomamos como un partido más de liga. Queremos ganar como cada partido, queremos sacar un buen resultado. Y después, como he dicho antes, nos preparamos para jugar en Arrowhead. Entrenamos ayer allí. Va a ser un campo nuevo para nosotros, pero no es excusa. Creo que lo tenemos que tomar como una oportunidad. Hay muchísima gente de Kansas y de alrededores que va a estar aquí para apoyarnos, para ver el partido, y tenemos que tomarlo como una oportunidad muy buena para que incluso más fans sigan el club, sigan a Sporting, y al final crezca el fútbol, que es lo importante.
Conti.
Sí.
Acá atrás. Sé que todo el mundo se concentra en Messi. Ya sabemos Messi es ahorita lo que todo el mundo quiere saber. Pero Suárez, tú eres defensa. ¿Cómo se sienten preparado la defensa para contener también a Suárez?
Sí, pues muy parecido también a lo que he comentado antes. Sabemos que es uno de los mejores delanteros del mundo. Aún está a mayor edad ya, pero sigue teniendo ese olfato de gol. Es un goleador increíblemente peligroso. Tenemos que estar también colectivamente muy pendientes de él. No creo que tenga que ser un trabajo individual, creo que tiene que ser un trabajo otra vez colectivo, estar pendientes en centros, siempre se coloca muy bien, sabe dónde van a ir, se entiende muy bien. Hay jugadores que llevan ya tiempo jugando juntos y se entienden muy bien, hay que estar pendientes en cada centro, en cada jugada, en cada pase, incluso cuando tenemos el balón, saben muy bien dónde posicionarse y sabemos todos de la calidad que tiene. Tiene una y la enchufa, te castiga y hay que estar muy atentos, muy pendientes y va a ser evidentemente un reto difícil para nosotros.
Omar Martínez, La Positiva Radio, muchas gracias por la oportunidad. ¿Qué le pasa al equipo del Sporting en todos los partidos en los últimos 20 minutos? ¿Se desconcentra? Si han pensado cómo va a reaccionar el equipo del Inter no teniendo esa desconcentración, ya que en la primera media hora el equipo del Sporting puede anotar en el Arrowhead. Gracias.
Sí, evidentemente que hay que corregir lo que nos ha venido pasando en algunos partidos. No creo que sea en todos, evidentemente, pero sí que está claro que hay algo que hay que mejorar y que no nos puede pasar en este partido otra vez, porque un poco lo que hemos estado hablando hasta ahora, ¿no? Estos jugadores, si no estás 100% concentrado en más de 90 minutos, te van a castigar seguro. O sea que hay que aguantar los 90 más minutos que dure el partido a una concentración muy alta e intentar mejorar ese aspecto que creo que nos ha perjudicado porque nos ha quitado puntos que creo que merecíamos y que nos pondrían en una posición en la tabla que sería aún mucho mejor de la que estamos.
Andreu, thank you very much for the time today.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We will be joined next by Sporting Kansas City forward Daniel Salloi. At this time, we are joined by Sporting Kansas City forward Daniel Salloi. Our first question will go to Kansas City Star reporter Daniel Sperry.
Daniel, just thoughts. You guys got to train in Arrowhead yesterday. Is it kind of the moment of what Saturday's match will be? Is it starting to kind of feel real for you guys?
Yes, it's I said it this week many times. It's very exciting. It's cool to be there. You know, it's one of those things that you don't get to do every week. And it's an amazing stadium. It's a historic stadium. Champions played there, and it's an honor to be there. It's going to be awesome. I hope the fans enjoy it just as much as we do.
As a Chief season ticket holder, is that the closest you've been on the field? There was that training session yet?
Yes, I guess I was only there for like warm-ups, like on the field, but now I get to be on the field more, and it's gonna be good. So field looked fine, and it's a little bit smaller, but you know, it is what it is. We have to deal with it.
The number 10 on the opposite side this week, of course, is Lionel Messi, one of the greatest players ever. Just how have you guys kind of mentally prepared for playing in that game and kind of maybe not try and be in awe of the moment, but more kind of focused in trying to win this game?
Well, like that, you know, we have to just put in our head that it's a normal game, and you have to go out there and be yourself and play your own game. But we are also not stupid. We know what Messi can do and these guys can do, so we have to prepare and try our best to stop them. And you know, it's one of those games that these guys can do something special out of nowhere. So we just have to be focused and locked in even more than usually.
The last two home games, you all have been in winning positions and not finish it off. How do you learn from that and take that into this one?
Well, we just have to separate the positive and the negative things. I think these past games, we've done many good things, and we just have to save those and keep them and work on the ones that we didn't do so great. And the way we, you know, didn't react well when we conceded a goal and went into a, you know, a little bit of a shocked state of how to get out of it, even though we were still winning. And that's just something that we have to be able to communicate within our team on the field when we get into these situations. But we definitely work on it. And there was a couple of things that were, you know, just tactical issues that we have to tweak. But at the same time, look, it's April. You can make those mistakes. You're allowed to. Don't make too many of those, but just have to work on it. And that's what we've been doing. And I'm not saying everything's going to be great this weekend, but we're on the right path.
I'm sure y'all watched them play Monterey last night. Just what are some of the takeaways?
Well, look, that's it's tough. I don't want to really judge Miami based on the Champions League because it's difficult. We've played in it before, and you know, you go away to these stadiums, and we have played there in Monterey, and it's just a difficult environment, very tough, and you don't truly see the same team what you see in week out in MLS. But I think Miami is a good team. They focus very much on attacking, and they try to, you know, capitalize on your mistakes. And as soon as you give the ball away, they try to put it away, and you know, get an early lead or something like that. So we just have to know how to organize ourselves and get ready for that, because you cannot give too much space for these guys. But also, I think they have their mistakes as well, their weaknesses, and we just have to play off of those.
And just, I mean, a lot of talk with Messi in Miami, but just how much does hearing about it just motivate y'all to be like, hey, let's actually not, I mean, get it. We want to get a win, but like, let's actually go out there and just, you know, try to dominate them.
Yeah, it's cool. We always think of these moments as, you know, you want to, when you dream of being a soccer player, these are the games when this many people show up and you get to play against these kind of players. These are the moments where you hope for. So just go out there, enjoy it, and do your best, because you don't know when you get a chance like this again. And this is going to be awesome. And, you know, going to training and seeing my picture on Arrowhead, it's one of those feelings that, wow, I take a picture, send it to my family, and I just can't wait to be there on Saturday. So it's just as exciting for us players as it is for, you know, fans to be there and watch it.
Daniel, thank you very much for the time today.
Thank you.
That concludes today's press conference with Sporting Kansas City. Thanks to all the media for joining, both on Zoom and in person. If you're here in the media studio and have a credential for a Saturday's match that you would like to pick up, please come see me.